one of the biggest things about Rumi, his most famous quote is the rise above good and bad. Right? There's a place, outside of good and bad, which is it's so incredibly brilliant. It is timeless, and the fact that he said it 800 years ago is remarkable.
Yeah. Because what is good and bad? It's
Right.
light and dark. You can't, like a photography, like in photography when you take a picture, you need the right aperture. Too much light in, blows out the picture. Not enough light,
Right.
it makes it really dull. And
Right.
it's like, that's all we're dealing with, right? Is we're dealing with this duality of giving, the darkness illuminates the light and the light gives contrast, and we can create the swirl of the pictures of the universe and the dark and the light swirls that go on. That's the reality of what we're living in here. And that's above that. That's that's no longer attributing evil and devils and angels or this or that. That's saying, okay, well, there's contrast. Let's just call it contrast.
No, I mean this is a planet of duality. I mean, this planet is so messed up psychologically, is that even though they have created gods who are supposed to be all powerful, omnipotent, omniscient, blah, 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 blah. But yet, like in a soap opera, they have an evil twin who is equally, powerful. Fear tactics it's a big seller on this planet.
Oh yeah.
The fear is a constant. It works. Fear really works. So division within humanity is what kind of the current machine that runs the planet. It works on the divisions.
Getting back onto, so when somebody comes, because you teach and mentor too,
Right.
And so not only, let's say somebody reads your article and they fall in love with your work and they want more from you, what are the next steps that you help take them through to help on some of those 12 laws?
Well, there are two things here. With the 12 laws, the article that I wrote was meant to be an overview, because I devote one paragraph to each law. So I am planning to turn that into a book. So I'm going to expand on each of the 12 laws. It could be as early as 2019. So they will get. And the second thing is to do more workshops. I kind of stopped doing events for a while because I was so focused on writing.
Yeah.
And also I was looking for the next thing, because I've done Rumi for such a long time. And I was in a sense I actually went through my own process in the past few years of rediscovering who I am, in a sense where I am, and everything that I learned about sharing Rumi for such a long, at a very high level for such a long time. And the fact that what I learned from him was constantly push yourself forward, and don't get attached. Understand the like we talked about, the duality. It's not about this this party or that party or this type of person. That it really is about yourself, and regardless of, because he was very unconventional, extreme. He could get away with it though, because he was super famous and very powerful and wealthy on top of it. A very interesting character. But he was extremely unconventional. So all of that kind of, what became very much a part of who I am. And then because I am a seeker of truth, and I have been a seeker of truth, which is an extremely precious commodity on this planet.
Yeah.
So what has come out of that, in a sense, my own process of self-discovery at this level that I am, was how to help people, in a sense, become aware, or how to make people become aware, rather than helping them, just making them become aware of the next levels of spirituality, because as we talked very early on, is that New Age has done what it was supposed to. And it wasn't meant to last forever. It lasted about 30 years. That's a very long time. And now we are at a post-New Age, or we're at a soul evolution. I like to use the term soul evolution. So you're at a soul evolution level where we just we thank New Age and all of that stuff. We use some of it, and then we take it to a much higher level that is totally self-based. It's completely outside influence free.
Yeah.
That's the simplest way that I can put it.
I
This
like
is very
that.
difficult for people. It's not easy. People are used to, worshiping, bowing, like having a picture of like a deity in their wallet makes them feel like, they're protected. These are very difficult steps for people to move from.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's changing the collective. And the more you plant little seeds, and the more that it becomes more acceptable. Because at one point in time, like yoga wasn't acceptable, right? And now it's like you see a yoga shop at every,
It's completely mainstream.
It's mainstream. Meditation is now mainstream. There's other things that are like these thoughts or these different ways of being. It's part of the process of infiltrating that into society, like even like you said, gender fluidity, and divorce is now more, like all of these things as we start to shift, and not just in America but all over the world.
So my aim is that what I'd really like to do now is, because I feel like that kind of the process of self analyzing and my self process that I was involved in for a few years, that it did what it was supposed to, and I feel that the 12 laws is the right direction for me to move forward. So what I like to do is that basically do more events, keep doing more events.
And leaving everybody with one last bit of wisdom, what would it be?
Oh, I think the last bit of wisdom is that you are not being judged. This is really I think on this planet, this is probably one of the biggest messages that I can put you, that you are, regardless of how we view ourselves on a physical level, occupying these shells, internally your spirit is one of the highest elements in this universe. It is exceedingly precious, because physicality without spirit is also possible. You can run on instinct, the same way eventually we're going to have androids that run on instinct, but they don't have a soul. So physicality without spirit is possible. Reproduction without spirit is possible. But because us humans, what makes us special is this amazing spirit that we have. And that's the one that's constantly kind of nagging at you that, hey, you could be better. Hey, you could do this differently.